Here's a young lady that was going through tough time, but every time you saw her, she just had a smile on her face. It got it to be infectious. You know, and I said, hey, if she can have a smile on her face with the problems that she has and the things that she's going through, I don't have a problem. The little things that bother me, they are very minute. And every time I saw her, she lifted my spirit. I don't know if I lifted her spirit, but, you know, she made me be more thankful for the things I have.
To have the opportunity to see the guys be on the pads and to see that they are just like us. It's love, no matter what, and that's how, you know, Casey and Coach Mitch and Troy and Heath and Travis Kershke and all of them that really came in contact with her, it was unconditional, and it was not football. It was, hey Heather, you are so tough, wow. And they look at her, and it was contagious for me because I know how tough Heather is. You know, I knew how tough she was all along, but it was to see that pride that they had in her, you know, and you'd think most 11-year-olds would be looking at these big, tough football players with such admiration, which she did truly admire them, but it was such a genuine friendship between them, and it was honest, and there was no fluff. And, you know, perfect example was when Troy would come into the hospital to see Heather. He'd come in so humbly, no cameras ever, never a camera, never ever talk of football. He never talked of himself, and it was all, how are you doing, Heather? Wow, you look great. I'm so excited to see you. What are we going to do today? You know, let's play rock band. What song you want to sing? And they'd, you know, jag with each other, and he got to know her to know that she was a practical joker. You know, Heather got a remote control big tarantula spider last year for Christmas. Heather's all about practical jokes. Well, right. The first thing out of her mouth was, I got to take that to the hospital and put it under my bed so when Troy walks in, I'm going to make it come out, you know, and she wanted to get him, and she never got the chance to do that, but just the thought that she was comfortable enough to want to do that with him, you know, and they helped her, you know, come out of her shell, and just helped her live happy. And even though, like I said, the inside of her body was so sick, but what they brought to her being, her whole being was nothing but joy.
She gave me a little hermit crab, you know, and this was just before she passed away. And I asked her what was the reason she gave me this crab. And the crab is, you know, it's coming out of the shell. And she said, Coach, you helped me come out of my shell. I said, Heather, you got that wrong. You helped me a lot more than I helped you. And I have it on my desk, and I look at it every day, because she was such, for a young lady to be 11 years of age, the wisdom, the knowledge she had, and the way she handled herself around, I will never forget that. And I miss this young lady every day.
Every time he was around Heather, you could tell what she did for him. But I'd like to tell him that there are no words to say what he's done for Heather. And for him to let her be a coach for a day and throw passes to his guys and treat them as though, you know, she were in control. He did help her come out of her shell. And when she chose that gift for him, it was so real. And I'm sure when he got it, he felt that, and he knew exactly where she was coming from. And that's just like the day they met. Instantly, they got each other. You know, they just, it all clicked, and it was a family. And, you know, I look at the Steelers now, and even as all this was going on, you know, with the season, and I just really didn't look at the games the same. Yes, everybody wants to win, you know, but you're watching these guys with so much pride, not because of how many interceptions they have or how many tackles they have, but you're watching with pride because I'm thinking, wow, what incredible role models they are.
Let me tell you a story that brought tears to my eyes. You know, she died on a Friday, and she wasn't doing well. And, you know, Michelle, we stayed in contact with her through Michelle Rosenthal, and we didn't want to bother the family. So Michelle said, you know, she had made a turn for the worse, and Hamp was over in Hawaii getting ready to play the Pro Bowl. Now here's an 11-year-old young lady, knowing that she's going to die. And the thing that she fought to live for 2 extra days is to watch Hamp play in the Pro Bowl. That's all she wanted to live for. I mean, that was it. Can you imagine an 11-year-old girl, out of all the things that she would want to live for, she wanted to see Casey Hampton, her friend, play in the Pro Bowl, and she didn't get that opportunity.
It was like a big family. She infiltrated the team. They lifted her, and they didn't even know it, I don't think, how much. And, you know, it's kind of a very humbling feeling for a parent when you see someone lift your child like that and not know how to thank them. and you can't say thank you enough. You don't know what to do or what to say, and I think that's what frustrates me a lot, feeling like I need to be Heather's voice in a way, because Heather would want everybody to know about the guys underneath the pads, you know, and we got to see that firsthand. And like I said, it was just so genuine. We went that game when Coach Mitch came around, and he said, we're going to win this for you, Heather. And then every one of the guys came and gave her knuckles. And on the defense, they circled around her. I actually had to turn around. I took a few pictures. I turned around because I didn't want her to see me cry.
Anybody she came in contact with, I mean, she put a smile on their face. I mean, because she was so outgoing. You know, we played the Green Bay game, and here's a story that I won't forget. She's in the wheelchair. She couldn't walk anymore. She's in the wheelchair. She wrapped up in her still blanket, and I walk out. And every time Michelle would tell me she was coming to the game, we'd always look for her. So we ran out before we come out from the dressing room. I looked over, and she was in the wheelchair. So I go over there, and I hug her and put my arm around her, told her I loved her, and I said, hey, Heather, we're going to win this game for you. We're going to play it for you. So when my players came out, after we went to warm up, they all came over, and I said, look, I always give a little speech, and I say, hey, there's a young lady over there that means a lot to me. Hey, she's dying, and I want you guys to go over there and say hello to her. And they all went over and said hello to her, and everything really brightened.
In light of all of the other things that have been said, I think sometimes it's imperative to show the other side of the story and the other side of the pads, is like I like to say it. And putting me aside and Heather aside and our family aside, put aside that these are our stories and our memories. It's more important for me to share that's how the guys are. You know, whether it's us or someone else, this is where their heart is, and this is what they are really like underneath all that, you know, those pounds of pads and you know, the rough and tough on the football field. They have hearts, and they are sweet and kind and gentle. And you know, Casey and Coach Mitch.
She made me look at things a lot different. I think we take life for granted. And here's a little 11-year-old girl, you know, I mean, she went through a lot of pain, Scott, but she never complained to her parents. She never. And everybody that she's met, she was more concerned about them than herself. So it told me, you know, a lot of times we're selfish. And it said, hey, Mitch, you got nothing to be selfish about. This little 11-year-old girl has gone through all the things that she's gone through. She's never complained. And every time you see her, she got a smile on your face. And to be honest, I really look forward to being around her. When I was around her, I was really happy, because here's a person, she's going to be herself. And we had a very, very special relationship. I won't forget it.